A single man showed a superpower like America its limits within just one day. In 2013, he stole more than 1 million top-secret American government documents and exposed them to the world. Since then, for the past 11 years, he has been America's most wanted criminal. But despite causing massive damage to the American government, today the world views him as a hero. But why is that? How did he steal the top-secret documents of the world's most powerful intelligence agencies? Why did he leak them? And even after all this, how is he still safe from America's grip? Once again, welcome viewers to USA Doc Videos. The morning sun of June 6, 2013, rose carrying a massive crisis for the American government. What happened was that The Guardian and The Washington Post published a series of reports containing explosive revelations based on top-secret documents of the NSA, the National Security Agency. These documents shocked not only Americans, but mobile users all over the world when they discovered that the American government was secretly monitoring every mobile user. The leaked documents exposed the NSA's secret program called PRISM, a covert surveillance program that authorized the U.S. government to access the data of millions of Verizon customers. Verizon is a major mobile operator in the United States. The documents also revealed that American security agencies had hacked the computers of Hong Kong and China's military. They tapped the phone of Angela Merkel, who was Germany's chancellor at the time. Britain's Government Communications Headquarters, GCHQ, was running a surveillance program to monitor its own citizens. The leaked documents also exposed conversations between the NSA and GCHQ, in which both agencies were discussing ways to deceive the public and maintain a false narrative through propaganda. Initially, no one knew who had leaked these documents or whether they were even authentic, because news agencies are not legally bound to reveal their sources. However, just 3 days later, a man came forward and took responsibility for leaking the top-secret documents. That man was 29-year-old Edward Snowden, a high school dropout. He began his career in the U.S. military, but after 1 year he was discharged. In 2005, he worked as a security guard at the University of Maryland. Edward Snowden may not have been strong academically, but his computer skills were so exceptional that the CIA hired him. After spending several years with the CIA in 2009, American tech giant Dell hired him. At that time, Dell had a contract to upgrade the National Security Agency's computer systems, and Edward Snowden was assigned to this very project. Initially, his role was that of a supervisor, but later he became a cyber strategist. Up to this point, Edward Snowden was considered a valuable asset, almost a jewel, for the CIA and the NSA. So what happened next that caused these very agencies to label him a traitor? The truth is that the incident that turned Edward from a cyber strategist into a so-called traitor occurred while he was operating and upgrading NSA computer systems. During this process, Snowden discovered that the National Security Agency had the power to access the personal data of any mobile user. He also saw certain records that he initially believed belonged to international criminals, but in reality, these records belonged to ordinary, peace-loving American citizens. Around the same time, a debate on intelligence matters was taking place in the U.S. Congress. Senator Ron Wyden, an American politician, asked NSA Director James Clapper a direct question in front of Congress: whether the NSA collects data on Americans or not. This congressional session was broadcast live on national television. In front of millions of viewers, James Clapper stated that their work was limited only to foreign intelligence and that they did not collect data on American citizens. Edward Snowden was shocked when he saw his own director openly lying on television. He was so furious that 3 days later he resigned from his job at Dell, where he was earning an annual salary of $200,000. In 2013, he left Dell and joined Booz Allen Hamilton, a firm that works closely with the U.S. military, the CIA, and the NSA. Even there, he was assigned to sensitive intelligence-related work. He was assigned to one of the NSA's own projects. The National Security Agency claims that Edward stole so many files from their systems that even estimating the exact number is difficult, as the total may exceed 2 million documents. But what exactly did Edward do that allowed him to copy files from one of the world's most top-secret agencies without anyone noticing? The surprising part is that he did not use any complex hacking tools for this operation. Instead, The entire task was carried out using a small USB drive. But how was that possible? Even in normal offices, USB drives are often banned due to the risk of data theft. Secondly, in any organization that handles confidential data, not every employee has the authority to access sensitive information. And these were not ordinary systems. These were the computers of the National Security Agency, whose security is considered nearly impenetrable. Before carrying out this operation, Edward Snowden carefully planned his escape and took advantage of his geographical location. He was hired by Booz Allen Hamilton for an NSA project, which is why he was stationed in Hawaii, nearly 5,000 miles away from the NSA headquarters in Maryland. Hawaii is 6 hours behind Maryland, which meant that when Edward was working in his Hawaii office, most staff at the NSA headquarters had already gone home. Another advantage was that he had access to NSA headquarters servers through a thin client system, which was actually outdated. The third and most important advantage was that Edward himself was a system administrator, meaning his profile had high-level security clearance. This gave him broader access rights, allowing him to copy data from multiple systems without attracting attention. Edward Snowden took full advantage of these factors and, without being detected, copied more than 2 million files from a distance of 5,000 miles. After working in the Hawaii office for just 4 weeks, Edward decided to expose the NSA's actions to the world. He copied all the documents onto USB drives and cleverly concealed them from security guards as he exited the facility. Using illness as an excuse, he took leave, turned off his phone, and flew directly from Hawaii to Hong Kong. When he failed to return for several days and his phone remained unreachable, the NSA became suspicious and launched a search for him. After reaching Hong Kong, Edward met with a few trusted journalists and handed over the documents. The very next day, those documents became global headlines. The documents leaked by Edward Snowden triggered a worldwide debate about the secret powers of the NSA. He was charged with theft of government property, unauthorized access to national security systems, and transferring top-secret information to unauthorized individuals. At the same time, the American government demanded that Hong Kong hand Edward over to U.S. authorities. However, Snowden had already planned his next move. Before any action could be taken, he boarded a flight to Russia, where he was initially granted asylum. Later, in September 2022, Russian President Vladimir Putin granted him Russian citizenship. In interviews, Snowden explained how intelligence agencies spy on their own citizens. He mentioned a tool called NoseSmurf, which allows security agencies to access a phone's microphone, enabling them to listen to surrounding sounds without any interruption. Some people consider Edward Snowden a traitor, while others believe he is a hero who exposed the true face of the NSA to the world. What is your opinion on this issue? Do share your thoughts in the comment section. We hope you enjoyed this USA Doc video. Please like and share it as much as possible. Thank you so much for your love and supportive comments. We will meet again in the next powerful video.